Так, уважаемые коллеги, следующий доклад Хельмут Закс. Значит, субретинальный электронный имплант у пациентов с пигментной дегенерацией сетчатки, современность, перспективы.
Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I show you a combination of videos from our project. This video contains an audio, and I hope the audio is running. There are two major systems for retinal implantation worldwide. One is the rp-retinal one, and we are talking about the subretinal one. With the subretinal implant, we have an experience of about 50 patients up to now. Here you see the complete implant, from the subretinal part to the energy supply, the receiver coil, which is in the retroauricular region. Here you see the scheme and the subdermal cable. What you see here is an original implant. Here is the heart of the implant, the chip, with 1500 microphotodiodes. And then the foil which runs in the subretinal space out of the eye. This is the patch where you fixate the implant on the sclera, and this is followed by the cable which runs through the orbit to the orbital rim. This is how it looks when the chip is implanted in the subretinal space. The principle of the implantation is to make a vitrectomy, to create the subretinal bleb, and then to create a bleb on the sclera down to the choroid. Then you open the choroid and then you implant this guiding foil and the chip beneath the retina in the submacular region. And then it's fixed onto the sclera. The surgery for the eye lasts about 3 hours, and for the cable about 1.5 hours. What you see here is the position of the chip during surgery. This has been a highly myopic patient with a staphyloma. From the functional aspect, you are substituting the destroyed photoreceptor with an electronic chip which gives electric signals to the existing ganglion cells, and so you are using all the still existing way to the brain to get the visual information. The energy supply for the system is a battery pack like this, where the patient can adjust some parameters, and the energy goes into the system at the corresponding receiver in the behind of the retroauricular region, like this. When we're talking about functional results, we have about a quarter of patients which has very good results. These are those patients who can read big letters. We have another quarter with good results, and a third quarter which may have acceptable results, but there is a fourth quarter where the chip is not successful, and we don't know the reason for that. Now you will see some videos from former blind patients who use the implant, and you see what they are able to do with the implant and what not. So this was the patient with the staphyloma, the high myopic patient, not an ideal patient.
Das stimmt.
So this is the test situation in
Können wir hinfassen? Aussieht und wo es liegt. Okay. Und können Sie auch nochmal, ja. Aber müssen Sie ein bisschen höher zeichnen.
Okay, also es ist eine Tasse. Das ist so groß.
Das war genau der Fleck. Also
ja.
Wenn Sie jetzt nochmal schauen, also die Tasse ist ja rund.
Jetzt vom Fußball?
Ja, genau. Mal schauen, einfach wo ungefähr der Himmel aufhört. Mhm. Ja.
So that's what they really can do. They can outline high contrasted things like buildings or cars, or in this case, window. And really only the best patients can do tasks like this. That was the first patient we had. You may have seen the video already. But this is about 1/4 of the patient who has the ability to see elements or things which have the size of these figures.
I think I'm a Formula One driver. Mika?
But what's wrong with that?
Well, he knew.
One eye missing and a second. I mean, second's name is.
And this is one very
schaut ihr ins Gesicht. Was wird
decisive fact. They all want to see faces.
Sehe ich hier.
Mal die Nase.
Er greift zielstrebig an die Nase.
Das Kinn.
Und ans Kinn. Und
So
dann hat er
that
was
was
entdeckt, was
something we
glitzert.
didn't know in the beginning. That's one of the main reasons for the patient to get vision again. They want to communicate, they want to see faces. And we now are in the situation where we have with this new chip, which you see here, a lifetime of at least 5 years, maybe longer than that, and we can exchange that. And about 2 months ago, we got the European CE mark, so the situation differs for us, so it's not an experimental situation right now, and I think we can now get some bigger figures. We now have 50 patients worldwide, but with this step having the CE mark, I think we can produce much more patients, and then we'll see how this implant will work in future. Thank you.
Он тоже покрывается страховкой в Германии.
We have in Germany a situation for new techniques where the insurance company pay for these new techniques for a certain number of patients because it's very costly. At the moment, the cost of an implant is about $100,000. So, but this may change in future, and for the first maybe 100 patients, we get this covered by the caretakers, and after that, we have to negotiate what's the price for the implant then.
Коллеги, вопросы? Комментарии?
Do you have any criteria in selection of the patient? How do you select the patient, basically?
This is a very interesting question. We started the project with rp-patients because this is an ideal situation where you have the photoreceptor degeneration, and we only do the implantation if there is no residual vision that you can use. Only maybe light perception, not more than that. And what we've seen within the project is that those patients who have still in the OCT an retina where you can detect the layers seem to be better patients than these atrophic patients. So you can stimulate because of the ganglion cells stay alive after you go blind. And this seems to be very detectable in an OCT situation. So if you have the layers there, then the retinal situation seems to be better. And there are some electrophysiological things, so you can do electrical stimulation from outside, creating phosphines, and if you have phosphines, it might be a good patient. But as you've seen in the results, there is a quarter of patients where we don't know why we are not successful. That may be a genetic problem, or it may be a problem because of RP is not one disease, it's composed of very different situations, and that's where we are focus our work now on. But at the moment, it's a quarter of patients which is not successful.
have to think. Next speaker.
Да, ну, thank you very much, доктор Закс.
Thank you.